Alena Shautsova here, immigration attorney from New York. We're going to have a short live presentation today. I know it's late in the day and maybe most of you are sleeping, but hopefully you're going to be able to view it tomorrow as well. I'm going to talk to you about registry. Why I'm going to talk to you about it? It's because according to Immigration News, this is the provision that is most likely to be included in Democrats' reconciliation plan for immigrants or immigration reform. And many people were asking me questions about what is registry, how to qualify for it, what does it mean that you have to be here for a certain amount of time, what would disqualify you from it, right? It's very, very important. What would disqualify you from it? And I'm going to tell you that in my entire career as an immigration lawyer in the United States, I never had to file for registry for anyone, so I had to look it up. Why? Why? It is because previously registry was available and perhaps will remain, it will depend on what's going to happen, was available to only people who could show that they continuously resided in the United States since 1972. Or January 1st, 1972. And I've never met anyone like that. Just never did. Of course, some older attorneys probably did, but I've never. So, never had to file for it, never had to deal with it. But now it seems I had to refresh my knowledge about this. Why? Because it seems that despite the Senate Parliamentarian's ruling that rejected this proposal, Democrats will put it up for the vote, and there is a good chance they will actually go forward with it. Why do I believe that there is a good chance? It is because what they're proposing is a simple, literally, 4-digit amendment in the law. They would like to change the date in the laws that says if you came to the United States and continuously resided in the United States before January 1st, 1972, they would like to substitute 1972 to 2010. 4 digits. But what a difference, right? If you think about it, it's actually crazy because these 4 digits may change lives of millions of people in the United States. So we better learn as to what is it. I'm going to tell you that there is not that much information about it, but I have this great book. Like any lawyer, I have a lot of interesting and necessary immigration books, and this one is the one that should be, if you see it, any immigration lawyer would have it. That's a correspondent book. Whenever we have an issue we do not know what to do with, we go for that book. It's true for immigration lawyers, it's true for the prosecutors, and I suspect judges as well. Believe it or not, that the person who composed that book is still practicing attorney, which is amazing. And I do follow him on Twitter, and he shares his thoughts. You can also may follow him, Ira Kurzban, and he is one of the brightest jurists of our time. So basically, what is registry? Let's cut the cake, right? What is it? Well, it is an opportunity for somebody to file for a green card. It is a path in a way to citizenship if you receive this application, if your application for registry will be approved, and after 5 years you can file for citizenship just like any other green card holder. All you need to show really is that you've been continuously residing in the United States before a certain date. And according to the information we have now, this date will be January 1st, 2010. It may change, but this is what we have right now. Continuous residence means that this is your home. This is where you live. If you are shuttling back and forth, let's say you also live in Mexico and paying taxes there, you will not be found to be continuously residing in the United States. Question: what can you show that you've been living here? We know that many immigrants would like to stay under the radar, so-called, right? They do not want to leave any records of them being here because they were afraid that they would be picked up by immigration. But guess what? Well, you will have to show that you've been here. So what is it that will be required? Typically, it would be passports. Let's say you came on a visa and never left. That would be good proof, right? Passports with stamps. I-94 cards. Income taxes. Keep telling people all the time, guys, you have to pay taxes. Even if you do not have Social Security, you can obtain in the United States tax ID number, okay? And pay your taxes. Very, very important. Insurance, paying of insurance premiums and insurance policies. Birth records, marriage records, death certificates of immediate relatives. Very important. Medical records, census records. Remember that fight about census that was happening when Trump was in office, whether or not to include immigrants and so on and so forth. But guess what? Census records may help you to prove you've been here. Newspaper articles about you in the United States, military records, car registration, union membership, pretty much anything to show, to prove that you've been here can help you to satisfy this requirement. Extremely important. But what may disqualify you? Well, good moral character. Good moral character, unlike for cancellation of removal, for the purposes of registry, has to be shown at the current time, at the time of the application. But your past deeds may still be taken into consideration because they reflect on your current character. It's very important. What is it talking about? That you will have to present your criminal record and explain certain things if they happened a long time in the past. Extremely important. Also, people who are ineligible for citizenship, deportable as a terrorist or Nazi, not inadmissible under 212A as it relates to criminals, but alien smugglers and crimes related to drugs, controlled substances, unless for alien smugglers waiver applies. So from all of this, I think the most important part is that point about ineligible for citizenship. If you were convicted of an aggravated felony, it makes you permanently inadmissible for US citizenship. It means you will not be able to successfully apply for registry. Certain other things may make you ineligible for citizenship. Unlawful acts, right? Perhaps, well, there are some other crimes, do not want to mention them here, that will make you ineligible for citizenship as shown that you don't have a good moral character. It means that if you have any arrests in the past, any criminal records, please consult with a lawyer and see how you may address it. Here is a tip that's worth $1 million. If you had a criminal record in the past, first of all, if you have an open case, hire a criminal defense attorney to close it. It's possible even if you have an arrest warrant for you from a long time ago, okay? Second, you may be able to reopen your case and close it with a better outcome for yourself. Here you also will have to work with an attorney. Very, very important, okay? But it's possible to clean up your record so that you will be able to qualify for immigration benefits. Extremely, extremely important to address that. Well, hopefully most of you will not have this issue, but there is something else. And this something else I'm going to read directly from the book. People ineligible for 10 years under Section 240BD1 of Immigration and Nationality Act, those who, following an order of removal, if failed to depart at a removal hearing after receiving a notice, failed to depart after a grant of voluntarily departure, or re-entered the United States illegally after removal. this is something serious. This is something that you will need to talk with a lawyer if it happened to you. All right, because I know that many people in the United States will probably fall under this situation and need to be able to address it, perhaps with a motion to reopen and termination of the previous immigration court proceedings, perhaps somehow else. Very important. Also, registry may not be granted if the applicant has a record of lawful entry into the United States as a lawful permanent resident. If you were already a lawful permanent resident, you will not be able to file for registry. And most importantly, dependents are not eligible for registry. It means that if there is a couple and one person, let's say you guys are married, one person is qualified for registry, they cannot automatically attach their spouse or child to this application, so they will receive benefits. The spouse or child must independently qualify. However, if the main applicant who qualifies receives registry, receives green card, they may be able later to sponsor their spouse or child through normal family immigration process, maybe with a waiver, perhaps, right? If the person's situation is such that they will not qualify for adjustment of status. But this is what registry is. There is a whole 1 page in it in the book about that. Okay? And I suspect it's only because, as I said, it hasn't been used in a million years. So we'll see if we will have to revise the page and add more and more things and brush up on old cases from 1991, 1966. Also was a case from 2011 about somebody who was filing for registry and couldn't get it. So that's what registry is. In other words, if you're someone who just came into the United States without inspection, never been in immigration court, and never been arrested, otherwise you're not ineligible and you didn't commit crime for which you were not arrested, right? You should be able to qualify for registry. If you had anything in the past, like prior order of removal, voluntarily departures that you never left, or maybe you re-entered after removal, you better consult with a lawyer. Same situation for those who had previous green cards and something happened to you guys, and of course if you had criminal arrests or charges or convictions, right? So then you will have to definitely, as soon as you can, consult with a criminal lawyer. I'm not a criminal lawyer, by the way. I'm only practicing immigration, so I won't be able to address that portion of your case, just in case, so you know. But I do know some good criminal defense lawyers in New York I can recommend if you need to work on your matter. So that's what it is. I think it's very important that you know. Now, will this be passed? I hope so, but of course we do not know, right? We don't know. We know that perhaps tomorrow it will be up for a vote, which is very important. Also, I've heard, and maybe you did too, that tomorrow on Tuesday, Democrats are likely to present Plan C before the Senate Parliamentarian. Plan C is the parole. Parole is just permission for you to stay, work in the United States, and potentially receive authorization to travel internationally. That's what parole is. Well, it's something opposed to nothing, and again, it may help you to qualify for immediate relative sponsorship. It will be especially good for those who have a choice between I-601A, cancellation or removal, if they're paroled because they entered without inspection. Then they don't need that. They don't need cancellation. They do not need the I-601A. However, remember, I keep telling this to people, check on your smuggling situation. Why? It's a big thing right now where immigration officers are going to be vetting you for smuggling? Have you helped your spouse or child to come to the United States? Or maybe other family members. Did you pay anybody for them to come to the United States? Did you make any type of arrangements? Did you encourage them to come to the United States illegally? All right, so then if that happened, you may be inadmissible based on smuggling statute, smuggling inadmissibility, but a waiver may be available to you if the person who you smuggled, assisted on smuggling, was your close family member. All right, I have a video about it, by the way. See, several months ago, I could feel that this would be an issue and made a special video about a waiver for smuggling. All right, so this is where we stand. So hopefully we'll see what the events are going to be tomorrow, if in fact the proposal is going to go up in front of the Senate Parliamentarian. If this will be, a registry is going to be voted on, we're going to see. I know the Republicans are in strong opposition. They call it amnesty. This is not amnesty. All right, I do not know. They do not like this word. I guess it makes them very upset, but this is not amnesty. Nobody is, amnesty is when you did something illegal and then, you know, you ask for pardon. This is legally an absolutely different situation. And again, it's been used in the United States for what, almost 100 years at this point, since I think I had the date before, you know. So it's not something new. It's been around for a long time. It's just that it's been blocked and not used since what, 1986, I think, last time they voted on it. So it's not anything new. It's not. Forgiveness is much more restrictive than Biden's plan that was at the beginning, but it's a good chance for someone who will qualify for it. And it seems that most people who would qualify for cancellation of removal would qualify for registry as well, plus more, because requirements for the good moral character are easier to meet for registry than for cancellation of removal. Okay, now if you have some questions, I will try to answer them, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, just like you probably, unless you're watching me from somewhere where it's morning. Hi Raouf, you're explaining very well, you're speaking very well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Raoul. I'm trying. It's you know, it's the legal questions, legal concepts sometimes are difficult to explain, but I really am trying. Hi Nahian, what about family-based immigration reform? Family-based immigration reform. I guess you can call that provision that partially family related, but all I know about family-based situations is that they're trying to recapture unused visas, right? And if that will pass, of course, it's going to speed up the long lines that we have right now, according to the visa bulletin. But that's all that's happening right now, to my knowledge. Maybe the end result will be much different. Hi, Maksud, work visa details. You know, I have a very good article on my website, www.shautsova.com, that provides how an employer may sponsor you. All I can tell you that in 99% of cases, you will need an employer's sponsorship to qualify for a work visa in the United States. You cannot just apply for it by yourself. Thank you, Muhammad. Hi, Imtiaz. Hi, Assad. Hi, Malak. Hi, Usman. Hi, Miriam. Is DACA would qualify or not? If you meet other requirements for registry, you should be able to apply for it regardless of your DACA status. That's my understanding. My understanding is the only disqualifiers, at least under that old law, because they're not changing anything except for the date, right? So that's why I opened that book to see what is that law said about registry. And the only disqualifiers would be the ones that I mentioned. They didn't say that if you receive a deferred action, you would be disqualified from it, okay? Oh, back then, it didn't exist, so. Hi, Baba. I have a deportation order but an I-360 approval. If Democrat parole plan pass, what can I do? Well, you know, I think you should discuss it with your attorney. If you do have I-360 approval, you may want to or may be able to reopen your deportation case unless it was an administrative order of removal, right? The one that's being done by CBP. What about family-based immigration? Yes, we spoke about that. Okay. Hello, guys. Hi, Sunny. If I came here in April 2010, I will qualify for it? If they don't change the date, I think the date is you have to show that you've been here before January 1st, 2010. That will be the date from what I understand, unless they change it, okay? I may be incorrect, I may be wrong, or they may change it. So we're going to see. You always have to look at the final text of the law. It's very important because it may change the last minute. So right now, let's not get upset. We're just going to wait for the final text, if it's going to pass, right? Oh, hi, Asif. Hi, Rahat. All right, I think I saw some. Hi, Eva, watching always the fire. Oh, thank you so much for watching. If you have some questions, guys, please ask. Hi, Melody. No, we did the jump. Guys, I'm already married. Don't want to disappoint you, but I cannot marry anybody. Not only I'm married, I also have 2 children. Yep. So let's see. How about the crewman married to a US citizen? That's a very good question. Traditionally, crewmen are prohibited from adjusting status or even qualifying for cancellation of removal. But I think they may qualify for registry. I didn't see any grounds of inadmissibility based on that. All right, as I said, if you would be filing for it, then you will have to double check. But it seems the only grounds that would disqualify you would be the certain criminal activities, right? Convictions, alien smuggling, and inability to show continuous residence, all right? And deportation, prior deportation situations, if 10 years did not pass, according to the book. And that book, I'm telling you, it's like gold. It costs a lot of money, but all lawyers have it. Why? Because it has all the answers, or most of the answers. It's an amazing book. Hi, Musan. I apply for family visa and 3 members. All right. If you have more information about this, I'll be able to perhaps answer it. Hi, Lori. I'm American. I want to get my friend and his 4 children here from Afghanistan. They're in fear for their lives. What are their chances and what do they need to get out? They need to look into humanitarian parole. Currently, from what I understand, the United States government allowed private organizations to sponsor families as well. So it's going to be humanitarian parole. I do have a basic article on my website explaining it. Especially it's tailored for people from Afghanistan, right? But that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Of course, Afghanistan is in a very tough situation right now. Very tough. Hi, Pedro. Please do something for LGBT. If it was in my power, you know, the only good thing that with current administrations that changed, many people will be able to easier qualify for things like asylum, for example. All right, for when you belong to certain social group. Hi, Franklin. Thank you very much for stars. Hi, Rita. Good night. If you came to the United States with a visitor's visa and overstayed, do you think there is anything that is going to pass for people like us? It depends on when you came. This registry provision is exactly for people like you who came, but you have to show that you came and continuously resided before a certain date, January 1st, 2010, at least what's in the drafts right now. Maybe they will move the date a little bit. Hi Linda, do you know how long it takes for green card approval for unmarried children over 21? Green card approval for unmarried children over 21. Are you a US citizen or are you a permanent resident? That's number one. Number two, what country are they from? You can look at the visa bulletin and see the preference category, and approximately you will know that it's from 6 years to 8 to 10 years. All right. So I would say on average it's about that time. And also, usually unmarried children over 21, if they're in the United States, they would have to show that they've been continuously maintaining their lawful non-immigrant status to get a green card in the United States. Otherwise, they have to file for an immigrant visa overseas. Maybe they will qualify for a waiver depending on the situation. Maybe. Hi boy, I have a valid B1, B2 visa and also waiting for immigrant visa interview. Can I visit using my B1, B2? It's a great question. It depends on the CBP officer. Can you use that visa just for a visit? Absolutely. But you may run into an issue at the border where the border people will think that you would like to stay in the United States. But if you have strong evidence that you do not want to stay and you truly would like just to visit, you have a very limited purpose for your visit and you're planning on leaving as soon as that purpose is reached, then they may allow you to come to the United States. But of course, there is a risk that they will not, and they will send you home at the border. Okay? That's usually a concern. Hi Mario, if you had a deportation since 1987, why does USCIS want you to go back home? If you had deportation since 1987, why USCIS want you to go back home? If you have an unexecuted order of deportation, they would want you to exit. They have a right to execute the order, right? So order is the order. Maybe you can reopen it, see what happened. You know, if I understood your question correctly, but I would say that you should order your immigration file and show it to a lawyer and see what can be done about this. Hi Sandeep, pending U visa. Where did it go? Hi Sandeep, pending U visa case, people supposed to get work authorization under the new rules by Biden administration issued in June. Is there any update on that? Sure. There is such a huge backlog of the U visa pending cases who need employment authorization that you'll have to wait for some considerable time. Cases that's been filed a couple of years ago are not up yet for those letters. So you will need to wait, but they said that they're going to go case by case from earlier filed through the cases that been filed recently, and they will be reviewing them and issuing them those letters, invitations for filing of employment authorization. Just need to be patient. Let me see. Hi Elvis, my question, in case I want to travel with travel document to another country, which one should be stamped, passport or travel document? If you're referring to travel document that you received based on asylum, you cannot use your passport anymore for travel. So you tell me, right? You can use only travel document. If that's the document you are talking about, you can only use travel document because technically you are a person without a stateless person from the time you received asylum, right? That's how it goes. And of course, make sure that the country where you're going to go will accept the travel document, because there are some countries that are not part of the Convention on Refugees of 1951, and they do not accept travel documents as for international purposes. All right, so always check with the consulate first before leaving the United States. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a little bit late at night. I hope you find this information helpful. Please share this video. Hopefully it will be helpful for other people as well. And we're going to wait till tomorrow to see what's going to happen. Hopefully they will be voting on something that will make us all happy, or there will be some other good news. I hope, surely hope for that. And I will keep you updated on whatever's going to happen. Under my calculations, we will not know anything solid for another month, but we'll see, right? So thank you for watching, guys, and stay healthy, stay safe, and I hope to see you soon.